fleshy like Fausto's. The steward folded his arms, replying in Ilocano that only first-class guests could use the smoking room. Besides, he added, no matter how well dressed or behaved, the white passengers would not welcome them. Speak Tagalog, the pensionado barked to the steward and turned on his heel. The group retreated and the pensionado brushed shoulders with Fausto. As they disappeared below deck, Fausto thought to go after the man, but Benny pulled him toward the nearest stairwell and pointed at the deck above where the first-class passengers had gathered. As the SS President Jackson chugged away from the port of Hong Kong, the first-class passengers gawked at the Chinese families whose sampans tossed about in the white water that churned beneath the propellers. Using their oars, mothers and fathers and elderly men and women clashed with other sampans for position. The children called out in their native dialect and waved at the passengers, who leaned over the rail, laughing. One man torpedoed fruit into the water. A red apple struck a girl's jaw. She ate it whole and licked the blood that trickled down the corner of her mouth. Other passengers threw coins that disappeared in the froth, prompting men and boys to dive in. A fistful of coins came raining down, and Fausto and Benny gasped as a tiny boy kicked off the edge of the boat with frog-like legs. The rope knotted around his waist and attached to the sampan, uncoiled in the air with a snap and was pulled taut. After a few moments, another sibling yanked at the rope and the boy's head popped up from the sea. Water flowed from his clothes and hair as he was pulled in. His arms and legs hung limp as seaweed over the side of the sampan. Then he held up his hand. Silvery discs flashed between his fingers, and his brothers and sisters piled on top of him, hugging him and patting his head. The passengers clapped. The men whistled. Soon they all dispersed. Fausto lost sight of the boy. In time, the SS President Jackson outran the sampans, though the mothers and fathers continued to row, refusing to turn to shore even as the sun dipped below the horizon. Fausto took comfort in his cabin mates, 4 others besides Benny. 3 had cousins or uncles waiting for them in America. Vermeil Bienvenido spoke good English. He had worked at hotels in Manila and was counting on making more money in American hotels. Ambo Ison's uncle had a restaurant job waiting for him in New York City. Arsenio Mixese hailed from Santa Maria, 10 kilometers north of San Esteban. As he rolled cigarettes made from his family-grown tobacco and handed them out to his cabin mates, he told them he expected his work in the fields would serve him well on American farms. Vermeil and Arsenio were going to return home rich. Ambo wanted to remain in the States but visit his hometown, bringing gifts for his 5 sisters, his parents and grandparents. Everyone's heart was still in the Philippines, except for June Villanueva. June didn't talk much, but one evening when Arsenio spoke longingly of his family's land, June cut him off, blurting out that there was no future in his hometown, San Fernando. When June declared he would never return because he hated his country, his cabinet mates wanted to fight him, even Fausto. It was as if he had spit on their mothers. Fausto convinced the others to go up deck to cool their heads so he could talk to June. With just 2 of them in the cabin, June complained that the rice they served on the ship was too gritty. His mother milled rice with a mortar and pestle, which made it taste more fragrant. Fausto told him the rice would be better once they got off the ship, but June said it would always taste bitter in his mouth. His family had lost their fields to harsh weather and cheating agents who made it impossible to make a living off of the harvest. The new landlords overcharged, but his parents conceded just so they could stay on his Leilong's land. I told him he did not hate his country, Fausto said to Arturo. The people in power were dishonest. I told him he would realize that, maybe not now, but later, when he is in America and he grows homesick. I admitted I was already homesick. Thank you.